It's a little hard to sympathize with Antonio Conte when the Chelsea manager complains that he has a harder job than Sean Dyche. True, the Italian has to put up with the inevitable politics at Stamford Bridge and the knowledge that his second season there will almost surely be his last. Like the rest of them, he is just a coach passing through, keeping the hot seat warm for the next incumbent. In many ways, his is the polar opposite to Dyche's situation at Turf Moor. The English coach with a 5-year contract and the total backing of his board. Burnley stuck with Dyche when they were relegated 3 years ago, and would like nothing more than for him to stick with them for many years to come. 65 wins, 19 defeats, 16 draws, 1 trophy. Jose Mourinho, 72, the only Chelsea manager to win more. Their jobs, expectations and prospects are indeed very different, but for Conte to imply that his role is somehow tougher is not going to win him much support. If you start the season to fight to avoid the relegation zone, it is more simple, he said on the eve of this meeting at Turf Moor. It is more simple because you have to avoid the last 3 places at the bottom and then you can stay between 10 teams. It is more simple also if you have a small budget because you can count on a team you already have. It is difficult if you have to play to win because only one team wins. If you don't win the FA Cup, the Premier League, the Carabao Cup, it is a failed season, and for this reason it is more difficult to play for this target. Before we shed a tear for poor Antonio, it's well worth looking at Chelsea's team sheet for the trip to Burnley. Despite resting players for the more important FA Cup semi-final against Southampton on Sunday, the 48-year-old former Juventus boss still put out a team costing nearly £250 million, and that was with Eden Hazard, Cesc Fabregas and Willian on the bench. Conte was able to play Alvaro Morata and Olivier Giroud together in attack for the first time, and give a Premier League debut to £17.6 million January signing Emerson. Reflecting on the Chelsea manager's pre-match comments on BBC 5 Live, Burnley chairman Mike Garlick mused, "It's interesting knowing what we have had to work with recently. The comparison is unbelievable, but I won't comment on it any further or I will get in trouble." In the end, Chelsea's superiority told here. They went ahead following an unfortunate mix-up between Burnley goalkeeper Nick Pope and defender Kevin Long, having had an early penalty appeal rejected for Long's challenge on Giroud. Morata missed a glaring chance to double the lead when he was clean through on goal in the second half, and that miss almost proved very costly. Dyche has done a fantastic job of molding Burnley into a team of real character and quality, and they equalised when Ashley Barnes deflected Joey Goodmanson's effort past Thibaut Courtois. A clinical strike from Victor Moses restored Chelsea's lead, and Conte emphasised the difference between the two teams by sending on Hazard for an unhappy Morata, who kicked out at the dugout and gestured angrily to Burnley fans behind it as he went off. It's safe to say you wouldn't get that reaction from any of Dyche's players. When they stunned Chelsea with a 3-2 win at Stamford Bridge on the opening day of the season, many dismissed it as a freak result. Who would have thought they would be going into the return fixture 8 months later? Just 8 points behind Conte's side? That gap is now 11 points, and defeat here denied Burnley the chance to leapfrog Arsenal into 6th place. But the bid to bring European football back to this famous old Lancashire club for the first time in 52 years is still very much alive. Clarets fans may have to get used to Thursday night football. It would be a monumental achievement. Just don't tell Dyche it's been easy.